What's up, YouTube? I posted a video asking for feedback on what parts you'd like me to get on my Glock 47 or what parts I should test. And, well, there's been a lot of comments. Just a couple days, looks like there's like almost 300 comments. So anyway, I've read through those the best I can and came away with a few things that seems like kept coming up the most often. So I was debating about, well, like running the Apex or a couple other triggers. And one of the comments, well, here is the comment that I think makes sense. Person says, I don't think it helps us a ton to run something tried and true like the Apex. If you're going to test or try something out, I think a review on, basically something I haven't used before makes sense. So I agree. So the trigger I was kind of between, or the two triggers that came out the most, is the tactical trigger, which is one that my friend Brantley Merriam, you guys are familiar, is a USPSA shooter. He was second at Carry Optics Nationals, very, very talented. And my friend Lucas Botkin both use. Those guys both use the tactical trigger and really like it. So that was the one I was considering. The other one that came up in the comments, which I was aware of before but hadn't really looked into, is called Trigger Tech. And the trigger is called the Ace trigger, I guess is who it's made. It's made by Trigger Tech. Looking through that, it looks pretty slick. A friend of mine overseas that I talked to a fair bit also has one that he really, really likes and had great things to say about it. The only thing it's okay. The only thing I don't necessarily love about that trigger is you have to, on the back of the frame, well, let's see if I still have the picture. It's not going to show up well enough on this anyway, but on the back part of the frame, when you take the slide off, there's like a little square piece that sticks up on the back part of it. And apparently you have to cut that off to make this trigger work, which probably wouldn't be the end of the world, but I don't know. I was like, well, it was between that and the tactical trigger. And I don't know without having like a tally, but it was seemed like 50-50%. So for between those two, the tactical trigger and the Trigger Tech Ace. So I just ordered a tactical trigger. It's on the way. I text Brantley just to make sure I'm getting the right stuff, and he said he used the aluminum one. So anyway, aluminum tactical trigger for a Gen 5 Glock. Just place the order on that, so hopefully I'll have it within the next week or so. So anyway, by the time I get home from this trip, hopefully it'll be at home waiting for me or shortly after. The other trigger I might end up getting at some point, and I might end up with another gun, at least for this trip, is that Trigger Tech Ace. Like I said, I don't necessarily love needing to chop off a chunk of the frame, but whatever, it's a Glock, I guess. So I might end up with one of those also. The other one I got a bunch of comments about was Kiral, it's Kiral Defense, reduced angle backstraps for Glocks. I have had a number of people message me regarding that, and also, coincidentally, the same guy that I talked to a lot, a guy from is currently overseas that does a lot of shooting. He said he really likes those backstraps also. So anyway, I think I've got a couple of those on the way, and it sounds like I'm probably not going to get it right. So somebody can, in the comments, can like correct me, but I think Lock imports them or sells them or something like that, or maybe Lock resells them. But anyway, I talked to a person at Lock Grips or messaged me and offered to send me some. So hopefully I'll have those in the mail also by the time I get home, because I'm interested to try that. So I'm not sure if maybe Lock resells them, or maybe, I guess I don't know. Also, it looks like Lock is selling silicone carbide grip tape. So maybe I'll need to try that at some point to compare that to the Talon. For people not familiar, Lock Grips, it's LOK. For maybe mainly competitive shooting, they make a lot of different grip styles for shape as well as texture that you can get. So for competitive shooting, at least, they're very popular. So anyway, I've got the reduced angle backstrap for Glocks on the way. There's a couple different styles. I'm interested just to try them all out. Otherwise, as the way it sits right now, that Glocks has got Professor Kim's mod where I just cut the medium backstrap kind of maybe not quite in half, but maybe more like a third of the bottom of the piece just off, which changes the grip angle a bit. So anyway, I'll be interested to see how that works. The other thing that I got a bunch of requests for was how the Glock performance trigger measures up, just using one also. And that might be something I try also. I've put them in Ben's guns quite a bit over the year. The experience I've had is just that you have to oil the trigger bar, and if they're dry and you just keep shooting, like, let's be real, if you're shooting a Glock, high round count and not cleaning the gun a lot is not unreasonable. And with those guns, or that trigger bar, it seems like if they're not lubricated, the trigger gets really, really heavy. So in the upwards of 8 to 10 pounds. I've seen them like on a trigger. I haven't put it on a scale, but easily 8 pounds just from it needing to be lubricated or cleaned and just shooting the guns a ton without cleaning them. So anyway, at least for the trip I'll be doing the next month or two, we'll say, the guns will get shot, I don't know, 1,000 rounds a day, easily, maybe more. And I'm not going to be taking them apart and cleaning them or lubricating or anything like that. They have to just be good to go. So I think it'll be a good test of the guns. And honestly, I shot the 47 a bit this week, well, I guess past week. I took that and my 17 out just to make sure they were zeroed and shoot doubles and shot them a bit. And I liked the 47. It was good because the dot just kind of snapped right back to where I was looking, and I like the recoil impulse. So I've got at least one trip later this year where I'll have to shoot a Glock. Well, I won't even be taking a gun with me, and there'll be Glocks that will be given there. So anyway, I'll be shooting Glocks a little bit this year anyway, and I'm interested to see what that change in that backstrap does for the guns. So anyway, I think that's what I've got for updates anyway. I just want to say I appreciate you chiming in with, like I said, what Glock parts you'd like me to buy or experiment with. And anyway, so a tactical trigger is on the way, and there's a decent chance I'll end up with one more gun. And if that happens, probably that Ace trigger from Trigger Tech will be the one I'll try. Just because, like I said, I've got enough people interested in that trigger that makes me want to try one. Oh, the other part I should mention about that. Apparently, it's not legal for any USPSA division, which is slightly annoying. And I'm not sure if that's because you have to cut that chunk off the frame, or apparently it works differently as far as how the safeties operate. So that kind of makes me want one more, since it's not USPSA legal, if I'm being real. But my friend said it's very easily adjustable from like 6 pounds down to 2 or 2.5. So all great reviews, everything I've seen. So I might end up with one of those at some point also. But anyway, I'll keep you posted once I get the tactical trigger in. And like I said, it'll get shot a bunch. So that's, even if let's say it's 10,000 rounds, I'm not saying that's a great long-term review, even at 10,000 rounds. But at that point, at least I'll have some thoughts on what I like or don't like, or some feedback from the guys shooting it. So anyway, just want to say, appreciate you guys watching. And like I said, the goal of this is honestly to give people what they want, especially on guns that I know are going to get shot a fair round count. Because, well, I was talking to a friend of mine, that an industry guy, and he just made the comment that he could tell my opinion's not for sale. And that's pretty spot on. I shoot the stuff I like, but I'm not obligated to say anything nice about anybody or anybody's merchandise for that opinions, or for that matter. So, I mean, the stuff I use is just because I like it, but not because I'm not obligated. I'm not on anybody's, I'm not getting paid by anyone to say nice things. So anyway, it's kind of makes me fun where I can just buy whatever I want and use it, and I'm not obligated to anyone to say nice things. So I'm looking forward to the tactical trigger because I value like what Lucas and Brantley have to say. Brantley is quite talented at shooting, so it'll be fun to mess with that. So anyway, just want to say thanks again for all your feedback. And if I end up with another Glock, I'll end up with that Ace trigger, I think, too. So I'll keep you posted on how it comes, and hopefully I should have that trigger within the next week. Thanks for watching.